right, everybody, welcome back. We're going to work on our host bit section. Now, I would like you guys to take a look at this because I think that it's important for you. Well, essentially, this is going to how you figure out how many hosts are actually being used by a particular segment. So let's go ahead and get started. If you guys remember, we talked about host bits, we talked about network bits in the last video, and we talked about subnetting. The reason that we talked about that is because now we're going to see a series of subnets, and you're going to kind of figure out how to work that out. So let's start. We got the class A. We're going to class A, class B, class C. So if you guys remember, class A, 255, 255,000. Okay, and this is the network portion, and this is the host portion of the bit. So host 24, or 2 raised to the 24, and then network is 2 raised to the 8 for class A. It's the inverse for B, so 2 to the 16, and then 2 to the 16, and then C is going to be 2 to the 8, and then 2 to the 24. Okay, so we know 255, 255, 255 here, or 24, and then for your network, and then your host portion is going to be 8. So that hopefully that makes sense to you, that this is the number of ones on for your class C. Okay, and that's the amount of hosts. So 16 is a double zero. Hosts. Okay, and those are obviously those are ones. 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I hope you guys kind of see that from the beginning. Now, the reason I brought that up is because number of ones we have available, it's 32. So when we're talking about host bits, you have 4 octets. So there are 32, or 2 to the 32 possible hosts, right? Okay, so how do we figure this out? Well, let's take an example. So let's say 221, 15, 10, 0. Okay, and let's say we'll go /27. All right, now you're trying to figure that out. How many hosts are there? How many valid hosts? Okay, well, it's simple enough. You take that 32, and then from there you subtract 27. Okay, and that's going to give you a whopping 5. All right, so just like subnets, 2 to the 5 is going to be equal to 32. Okay, cool, 32. Well, a little bit of a trick, though, because you got your network and your broadcast, so you have to minus 2. Okay, so the answer here, 30 valid hosts. And let's do a quick recount on subnets. So because 221, we know that's going to be wonderful class C, because if you guys recall, 192 to 223 for class C, right? Okay, so we know that's class C. Class C is 24, so 27 minus 24 is 3, 2 to the 3, 8 subnets. 30 hosts per subnet, 8 subnets. All right, so let's move on. Let's do a class B. Okay, so we're going to go 172.16.5.0, and we'll say, let's give it a 226. Okay, so let's say you get dotted decimal format, 255, 255, 226, 0, 0. Okay, well, how do we figure that out? We know that's an 8, right? Okay, so let's move this forward, 226. Excuse me. So, 128. And we're going to go 16 here, 8. That's a 1. That's 11. So that leaves us a 98, 64, 4, 3, and then 32 leaves us a 2. So we got a 1, a 1, a 1. That's a 2. That's going to be a big old 0 from here for 2 to the 16, 0 for 8, 0 for 4, 1, 0. So does everybody, I hope you guys all see that, how to do this. So 2 to the 7, 2 to the 6, 2 to the 5, on down the line, right? Okay, but obviously this is a 4, and then 0, 0, so that's a slash 12. Okay, so we've got a slash 12, and then we've got 32. So how many valid hosts are there? Let's figure it out. 32 minus 12 gives us 20. Okay, so this is going to be 2 to the 20. I don't want to figure this out in my head. This is going to be very big. So let's see. All right. So 2 raised to the 20 is a lot of hosts. A lot of hosts. So all told, we have 1 million. Oh, I lost it here. You know what? Yeah, 1 million. 48,576. Oops. Now minus 2. So it leaves us with 1,048,574 total hosts. Okay, that's your answer for this. You're like, wow, that's a ton of hosts. Well, it kind of is, because we took a slash 16 and then we borrowed down 4 subnets. Okay, so now you want to look at this. Again, we had the 16 to the 12, these 4. So 2 to the 4 is equal to 16 total subnets. Okay? So I hope that you guys are starting to get a little bit of this. I remember it's a little tricky. Let's go ahead and wipe this out. We'll do something new here. Oops, no, wrong. Okay, so one more. Let's do something hopefully a little easier. All right. So let's go. Let's make that more legible. 15. Let's do that slash 10. Okay. Now, you know what? I'm going to go big. Let's go slash 28. Okay, so you slash 28. Like, what am I doing here? Oh, yeah, 32. 28. 4. 2 to the 4 is 16 minus 2. That gives you 14 hosts per subnet. Now, what are we looking at for this? Because this is a Class A, and we're breaking up a Class A, which is really odd. But, all right, slash 28. You remember, 28 minus 8 for the network is 20. So 2 to the 20. And if we remember, that was a huge number. It was like 32,000 possible subnets. I don't want to bring that up again, but yeah, it was like 32,684, if I remember right. Yeah. Or, wow, it's a million. Okay, I did that wrong one. Yep, nice. So a million. Anyway, the point that we're trying to bring up here, and I guess we'll do one more example. One more example. Let's do a straight Class A. Okay, so network address translation, public Class A. We're going to say 10. Okay, and we'll do a slash 10. So we're going to borrow up 2. Okay, so again, you're going to have 32 minus 10, which you know is going to be 22. It's going to be a huge amount of hosts because this is Class A. So 2 raised to the 22, 4 million hosts. And then trying to figure out the number of hosts on a subnet. So it's 10. We know the network bit is 8. So 10 minus 8 leaves 2. 2 to the 2, or 4. So 4 subnets with 4 million hosts. It's a lot, but that's how you figure it out. All right? So hopefully this makes sense to you. You guys obviously can email me if you have questions. I'll be happy to answer that for you, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. And now I'd like to say goodbye. Thank you very much for joining us in this episode of Bash Tutorials. I hope that it was informative, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Take care.
Love